Heyo there, it's Sven. So today I'm going to be doing a video showing the differences between an Umberti and a Pieta 1860 Colt Single Action Army, and maybe giving some of my personal opinions on which one you should buy. But of course it comes down to preference and budget. So I say budget. Umbertis tend to be a little bit more expensive, about $20 to $50 more than Pietas. I think that $50 or so goes a long way in making a better gun on average. But, you know, they both, I'll preface and say both of them shoot perfectly fine. The only real differences I've found are aesthetics, which I'll go into now. So one of the first most glaring differences are the stamps. Pieta puts their stamps everywhere. You can see you have 3 on the frame here, out in the open. You have another one right there, or another 2, I guess, there. And on both sides, you have the Pieta Italy stamp right there. So the Umberti has taken that stamp and hidden it under the loading lever. So you will not have that visually impairing your gun. They took 2 of those stamps. There is 1 of them there. But they took 2 of those stamps, the other 2, and put them right underneath the serial number. No, at least 1 of them, and then the CP or whatever, I think is that one or whatever they put right there. You can also notice that the barrel and frame serial number are right there. However, on the Pieta, there's only the serial number and apparently no barrel serial number that I can find anyway. Might exist somewhere. Actually, would be a smart idea for me to check. Oh, nope, it's bare under there, so yeah. The loading lever is stiffer on this than on my Umberti, but that might just be because of use and just these 2 individual guns. The second most glaring difference, in my opinion, is that the Umberti is very smooth. You can see the handle is a very rounded shape there. The trigger is maybe a bit hard to see, but it's very rounded and smooth. The barrel has this nice, smooth, clean transition. And if you compare it to the Umberti, you could ignore this marring. This was done by the person that owned it before me, not me. That's what ones that I own look like. But you can see it's sharp. It's a straight line. While this one, you can just see it's rounded. The trigger, you can see, is like a block. It's I wouldn't say it's sharp, but it's crisp, I guess. Well, this one is rounded. The handle, you can see, rounded. You have a fairly sharp transition. Pietas just seem to be a bit sharper. Again, it's just aesthetics. A little bit can be functional because, say, I had to file this one a little bit on the tip because I couldn't spin it. It would cut me. This one never had that problem. That is the Pieta. I had to file. The Umberti never had that problem. I can't show you the differences in the actions because this action is actually broken. The part of the hammer that interfaces with the bolt got marred up, and it's not cocking right. I have a replacement hammer on the way, so we'll get that taken care of. But I can show you the action on the Pieta. It works just fine. So this varies between gun. So whichever one you get, if you can get it in the store, I'd check that. Speaking of hammers, the Pieta has this horizontal cut thingy, grip. The Umberti has a checkered pattern. I don't know offhand, but I think aesthetically, the Umberti is probably much more similar to the actual gun. It's the actual 1860 Colts. But, and I think that this is also a sign of that. Finish wise, that's hard to show because my finish is mostly worn down after years of use. This one I artificially took off. But this one is just how it aged, I guess, after years and years and years of very hard use. But I can give you a little example of the finish right there, where it still kind of remains. It had a very red colored, glossy finish, while this one here has more of a matte brown color. That, you know, it just seems pretty matte all the way through. So, I mean, that's up to preference. That's about all that's actually different with them. They don't shoot any different. The actions both worked fine. Basically in every scenario, they're just as good at guns. It's just that the Umberti tends to be a lot nicer looking, and I think more historical. And the screw lengths are different and stuff like that. I've noticed that the Umberti, the cylinders don't actually interchange, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So yeah, that's all. I had to remake this video because my sister interrupted. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. But yeah, that's a little rundown of the difference between Pieta and Umberti. I think you should go for Umberti if you have the money, or Pieta if you just want a gun to beat on. So yeah, that's all. Hey-do.